Okie dokie. We have a replay from myself versus Arcticase Curio. This was played in Zuri Han's best of three tournament. And it was a pretty good game. But also, I do like to get a replay of myself in here once in a while where I'm not actively still playing it. Like, I don't know. Because like, other people might not feel this way, but I feel like I'm really harsh on people's mistakes. But I do have strong opinions, and I don't want to blunt my opinions. But I also do want to show that just because I say X and Y and Z are a mistake, it doesn't instantly mean like, oh, I could do way better. So I'm hoping to show that in this game so that people know. If I'm casting one of your replays and I'm being harsh on something, it's not like I'm pretending I'm so much better. So what do we got here? Warriors of Chaos versus Dark Elves. I went with Azazel. Try and use his Rampage plus his Demon Blade to drag some skirmishers, Scourge Runner Chariots, if they were here, Dark Riders, whatever, out of position. Do have a front line of Chaos Warriors with Hell Scourges, and then some Marauders. I do have 4 Skirmish Cav of my own, 2 Throwing Axes per side, 1 per side, but 2 Throwing Axes total, 2 Marauder Horsemasters, 2 Dogs with Poison, then a Chaos Knight, a Summoner of Rage, and that is it. On the other side for the Dark Elves, we do have Dark Rider Peter Crossbows. I believe he has 3 of them overall. Looks like no, just 2, and I rampage the first one into the fight. Cold One Knights, Dark Riders, Dread Spears, and Bleak Swords across the front line. We do have the Bloodrack Medusa ROR and Supreme Sorceress of Dark. Now the Rampage does catch the Dark Riders in the front line. I get some dogs onto them. Accidentally throw 2 Skirmish Cav into the fight as well. That is a whoopsie. They're trying to target the Dark Rider in the distance, but my range just goes too far. So they end up in melee for a bit and take a nasty Soul Stealer. Summoners of Rage falling back. Away from the Cold One Knights, they were countercharging, but the Cold Knights ran away, so they don't want to be here anymore. I back off these Skirmish Cav, and on the top side, my infantry are doing quite well, and my dogs are even chasing down some Dark Riders. And I have Chaos Knights in the back line. They sneak onto the Dark Rider with Peter Crossbows. Neat stuff, but they have no support whatsoever, and Cold Knights are now countercharging them. Those armor-piercing anti-large Cav. Looks like it's maybe even going to be a 2v1 here soon onto my expensive Chaos Knights, so that is a big loss, as this unit just suicides into the back line to try and catch a Dark Rider Peter Crossbow. Oh, he's going to want that one back, and that he is me. They got fucking murdered. Shit. So a couple whoopsies in the early game here for Chaos, but not everything has been going bad. Like I said, we did do some serious damage to one of the Dark Rider Peter Crossbows, wherever that thing is, with our first Rampage. We have gotten some good damage on the front line. Our front line is winning, but we are overall a little bit behind right now. We'll need to make some sort of insane, crazy, massive play. Ah, shit! Rampage Supreme Sorceress of Dark right into the Summoners of Rage, land her down in front of all of my Skirmish Cav and these anti-large guys, and then Azazel even dives in behind her to not obstruct my Skirmish Cav so we can get maximum damage. I'm hitting her with the Demon Blade to lower that leadership a little bit, try and get her to rout off. Actually, I don't think I popped it yet because she wasn't low enough on leadership. I didn't want to pop it. Summoners of Rage throw out their bound chain lightning here. Now she's super low. She is getting pushed off. She routs, and then that Thunderbolt is just punishing the blob. So big play from me. Congratulations to myself for doing something right in this replay. So game is back to even. The enemy lord is out of there, but my forces are incredibly diminished. Summoners of Rage went from full health. They were full health when we started that fight. They went from full health to dead. It's a worthwhile trade, but it is a trade. My Chaos Warriors really aren't feeling too good on the south side. My Skirmish Cav have not been used well this game, but I did get a good Lord Snipe to keep me in it, and now Azazel is going to chase that lady off. No chance she's coming back. My Wounded Chaos Knights try and just rear charge over here. I figured the Cold One Knights would notice I'm over here sooner or later, so I just wanted to get a charge onto their backside to at least get something out of it. Summoners of Rage charge into Dread Spears, just try and rout them. And I still do have 4 Skirmish Cav. Good amount of ammunition on all of them. One is chasing a Dark Rider off. And I have some infantry in the northern side that are still quite healthy that I can use as a bit of a bulwark for myself in the late game. For the Dark Elves, they did just lose their Lord. She is off the map. But they still have a lot of... There's a Witch Elf? Alright, there's apparently a Witch Elf. There's still a lot of infantry. Still have Dread Spears, all that stuff. They have 1 Dark Rider Peter Crossbow. I haven't managed to rampage to its death yet, so it has a ton of ammo and HP. Both of the Cold Knights are very healthy, and the Bloodrack Medusa is very healthy as well. Dark Elves are slightly ahead of the balance power, and I would actually agree. I would agree. Colder Knights, finally one gets out far enough that I can maybe do something to it. So I Rampage it to pull it into my Skirmish Cav. Summoner's Rage are going to get a counter charge as Azazel lands behind them. And since they're Rampaging, most of them turn their backs to the Summoners of Rage, allowing me to get a lot of damage off. So all of a sudden, this Colder Knight is just dead. Cool. Good little pick there. Now, the counter charge is coming in from the enemy Cold One Knights, but my Summoners of Rage are so close to dead that I just chuck him into the fight to make sure Azazel doesn't get stuck on the ground. And I'm like, yeah, these guys are dead, cool, but I also still have Skirmish Cav supporting this fight for my Summoners of Rage, and Azazel's going to spend his time chasing Cold One Knights. Because they have plenty of leadership to come back, so I don't want them to. Witch Elves chasing my little Skirmish Cav, who do start to run away. They're all very low. And Curio is harassing me with these repeater crossbows. I think they have a longer range than I do. They do. They have a significantly longer range than I do. So they have Firewall moving, but only while they're moving straight forward. But since he's chasing me, he is going to get shots off for free while those Witch Elves take the shots from me. Azazel finishes chasing off that Cold Knight. The other Cold Knight's at half HP, taking a little bit of damage from the Summoners of Rage before they died in the Skirmish Cav. And I do take this moment to charge into the Witch Elves. They're a little overextended, and their extremely low mass and light armor does mean my Skirmish Cav can get a decent charge bonus onto them. I wanted to rout them, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. The Dark Elves are just proving a little too sticky, and while they eventually rout, I take a lot of punishment for it and get pushed away. So I'm in mass retreat on this side. I do have a Marauder Horsemaster that's finally done chasing down Dark Riders in the distance. He's coming back. Another Marauder Horsemaster has rallied. My Marauders are all pushed off. This side is where a lot of my strength is, though. I still have a very, very, very healthy Chaos Warrior of Slaanesh in the late game, which is important. Because I need someone for Azazel to hammer an anvil with. I need that anvil. So I'm glad that they're still around so I can get these nice, juicy rear charges in. Bloodrack Medusa plus the Dark Rider Peter Crossbows. Continually routing my Skirmish Cav. We're going to start shattering soon. We've lost too many. We've routed too many times. And now I'm kind of at a loss. I'm outranged, but also outgunned. I don't know what to do with my Skirmish Cav right now. I remember in game just backing off. Like, I guess I'll go pick off these Bleak Swords and these other remnants in the distance, but I am getting extremely concerned about those guys. So I'm just trying to get my forces back around. I start to run this way and just rally around. I'm trying to get away from these guys and get back to Azazel and these guys. Because if I can get the Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh between me and the Bloodrack Medusa and stuff, then maybe at least we can pressure them away. But some Dark Riders are rallying in the distance, and the Bloodrack Medusa is still firing at me while I try to get around that flank. So these throwing axes don't really know where to go right now. Dark Rider Peter Crossbow is firing into my Marauder Horse Masters as they try and kite away, but we do take that full volley, and then we lose half our HP and rout. Marauder's going to chase off the Bleak Swords for me while the Chaos Warriors rally with Azazel. They still have one full health Dread Spear that'll be a problem. Golden Knights are rather injured. And Azazel is infantry-sized. He's not as worried about... ouch. Nasty Bloodrack shot there. He's not as worried about getting surrounded by Golden Knights as other things. But the Dark Elves might have overextended. My Marauder Horsemen and Throwing Axes just charge into melee to use the last of their HP, get a little bit of a charge bonus, stay and fight as long as they can, and get some damage out because they're losing the ranged fight so badly. But Curio does slip back through his lines, get away, and his Dark Riders and Golden Knights are enough to peel. Cyan Red Ruin trying to kite my Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh, gets a couple shots on them, knocks them over. The Dark Elves have formed up at this blob. I only have my single target Rampage spell, which I use right now to try and get the Cyan Red Ruin to charge into my infantry foolhardy, and then Azazel can rear charge her while everybody else is distracted. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case, though, as these guys are coming up quicker than I had imagined. So... whoops. That was a bit of a wasted rampage, unfortunately, for Azazel. For the Dark Elves, they rout one of my Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh with Hell Scourges. The other one is chilling for now, but these armor-piercing repeater crossbows getting good damage down, as is the Cyan Red Ruin. Azazel doesn't have a lot of time. He's got to make the most out of what he has, which is these Chaos Warriors still fighting for now. Azazel is going to end up diving in, maybe. Whale of Malice is out, plus a big charge from everybody. That's a lot of damage. Azazel still is buying his time. Really needs to find a fight to commit to. But I have some Marauder Horsemasters coming in for a rear charge. I decide this is the moment. Azazel dives in. Temptator and Demon Blade both active, lowering the leadership of these Cold Knights by a lot. And then the rear charge comes in as well. This is going to be a big leadership shock for the Dark Elves. We see a Terror Route over there, a Terror Route over here. Natural Route maybe coming in for the Dark Riders. A Terror Route. Everything is Terror Routing. Slaanesh is getting done what they need to get done. A Pavane cast after the Golden Knight is routing. Bit of a whoopsie. It was trying to cast earlier, but it got canceled somehow, so it was cast late. We have some Marauders coming back to the fight, some Chaos Warriors coming back as well, but the Siren Red Ruin is busy fighting Azazel. Azazel did what he needed to. He routed everything off, though I don't have any mobility to help me really chase things off, and I don't want to spend Azazel's time chasing like these super tattered units. I need him to fight the Bloodrack Medusa. As the Bloodrack commits into my Chaos Warriors with Slaanesh, I'm going to get the time to get a rear charge, refresh Azazel's charge bonus to dive in on this lady, but she does juke just under me. But I still get the fight off. Now, 70-55 for melee stats versus 56-49. We're both very good combatants, but Azazel is slightly better, and again, her bonus versus large is worthless against Azazel. Azazel gets back up into the sky, doesn't want to get charged by her, wants to always do the charging, lands on her again, misses his first attack, and then misses again, and takes a shot in return. That is some bad RNG if I've ever seen it. Dark Rider Peter crossbows get rampaged by the Pavane of Slaanesh, stopping them from using their last couple volleys onto Azazel and the Chaos Warriors, but there is the Whale of Malice. Big damage onto my Chaos Warriors, and thankfully they are of Slaanesh, so they're all ITP, and that's definitely not overpowered at all. Azazel again routes everybody away from him. Look at all the Dread Spears going, and the Bloodrack Medusa has taken some serious damage as it continues to fight Azazel. But he dives in onto it. Can he really kill that thing off? He only has 2,800 HP himself. She has 3,400. But my Chaos Warriors are running out of gusto. Can I get rid of these Bleak Swords, or will they hang in the fight? Azazel has not landed a hit on the Bloodrack Medusa in a very, very long time. He swings there and he misses again, but despite his 70 melee attack to her 49 melee defense, he's just missing all the fucking time. He misses again. He's taking some big pokes from her. He can't withstand this punishment for long. There, he finally gets a shot in, but then she gets another one onto him. He's losing this duel rather badly, considering his much better stats. Finally, I get Temptator out. Damage resistance, melee, reflection. I'm trying to fight back against this lady. 2,000 HP for me, 2,900 for her. He still hasn't hit her in quite a while. Terrible RNG here for Azazel. Demon Blade is back up, and with it, I'm going to start getting some Terror outs. I even just say, fuck it. I give him orders to attack the Dread Spears because he has missed her way too many times for my liking. But then when I give him orders to change, he hits her twice in a row, which is insane because I'm trying to get him to hit these guys. They Terror out away with the Discouraged Leadership. She's getting real low. The Dark Elves are trying to come back into the fight, but they're very, 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 very low. Demon Blade is still active for 7 more seconds. Can I get any good shots off? The Siren Red Ruin gets away with 2,100 HP. Azazel has 1,900. My Chaos Warriors and Marauders are fighting to the death right now. Azazel refreshes his charge bonus onto her. He gets back in the sky, though, because he realized he was going to... I realized I was going to dive past her, so I wanted to refresh the charge and actually try and hit her like that. But I miss anyway! Azazel hit her, for the love of God! My Marauders route. My Chaos Warriors ITP. They can't Terror out, but they can naturally route as they get shot in the back by repeater crossbows. The Bloodrack Medusa. Oh, she can hit her charge attacks, sure! Now Azazel hits her. He has evened up the health values onto her, but then he takes a nasty shot for himself. Dark Rider Peter crossbows try to charge in, but they rout immediately. Azazel gets hit again and again and again. He started hitting the Bloodrack Medusa, but he started hitting her way too late. And Azazel, you horrendous RNG monster, how dare you betray me? We do lose. Oh, Azazel. It was close, though. 3,100 for him, so not bad value at all. Chaos Knights, whoops, just a whoops. Threw them way too far in and they got wrecked. Summoners of Rage didn't come close to paying for themselves. I shouldn't take that unit, but I thought I needed some anti-large armor piercing in case of a Dragon Lord or Malice or something. But Chaos just doesn't have a lot of those. They have Chaos Warriors with Halberds, but anyway. Summoners of Rage feel like they could be good, but they just never are. Chaos Warriors Hell Scourges did amazing. Skirmish Cav, it did well. I made some whoopsies with them in the early game, but overall they did fine. Marauders did well. For Curio, his Lord got 1,500 value despite the fact that I sniped her like right away. So honestly, that's good value considering how quickly she died. Bloodrack Medusa did amazing work. Cult Knights did okay. Dark Riders and Dark Rider Peter crossbows, more mixed, except the one crossbow that he managed to keep alive just did so much. And then his Bleak Swords and Dread Spears hung around, got a good amount of value. And his Witch Elves, which I forgot existed, just around paid for themselves, so pretty good stuff. Great game. Good job to my opponent. GG. Roar. Subscribe, yes.